Hello, everybody. My name is Bob Schwarz. I manage and run an organization called Robert Mark Technologies. We are a Tier One partner of Broadcom. We specialize in the workload automation industry. We have been around for many, many years. We perform all sorts of engagements from a professional service perspective. We are constantly helping our clients to achieve more with their workload automation solutions. We also, as a Tier One partner of Broadcom, work a lot with our clients on licensing and renewals. And I have been in this industry of workload automation for 27 plus years. I have worked with thousands of organizations on how to help them achieve their goals related to the evolution of this particular industry. I've worked with some of the biggest shops in the world to all the way down to some of the smallest and everybody in between. And so I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about all the different areas from a Automic SaaS perspective, to just talk about some of the things you might be interested in but don't know enough about. I'll go first. So, Service Orchestration and Automation Platform. SaaS is a true SOAP. That's a big deal. And if you don't know what SOAP means, it's Service Orchestration and Automation Platform. Why is it a big deal? Gartner predicts 80% of the companies using workload automation will leverage SOAPs to streamline operations, drive cost optimization. And if you don't know what they are, you should go to our site at robertmarktech.com, or you can probably find it on Broadcom's site as well, maybe even on the Gartner website too. They talk a lot about the 7 functions of workload automation SOAPs. Next one I'll go, prevent vendor lock-in. So picture this, you're cruising down the cloud highway and you don't want to get stuck in a one lane with a single vendor. That's where Automic Automation steps in acting like your SOAP or your cloud GPS. It abstracts the tech so that you can switch between cloud providers without rebuilding everything from scratch. There's no vendor lock-in. It's flexible. So if you ever want to change lanes, you can do it without hitting any bumps. You probably don't even need to use your blinker. I'm also going to go with fewer jobs. One fantastic thing about Automic and Automic SaaS is its ability to use object-oriented and variabilization within the product. And so what it does is it tidies up your jobs like a pro, meaning what I used to have 100 over here, in Automic I may only have 20. I might even only have 10, 5, right? So this gives me joy, no extra jobs, bye-bye. So where other systems could be juggling 150,000 jobs, Automic can cut down to 20,000 or even less. It's clever use of object variables and object-oriented programming inside of it. So that's an 80% reduction in clutter potentially. Obviously, every environment's different, so that 80% may be better, may be worse, but it's going to be an optimization. That I can guarantee. Also, meaning SLAs. SLAs are a critical component of any cloud contract. When they sit across cloud providers, the challenge becomes who manages SLAs. If processing is segmented in distinct cloud vendor automation platforms, those islands of automation I talked about earlier, there is no central visibility, no critical path across the processes. What does that mean? It's going to jeopardize your ability to maintain and improve your SLAs. In fact, you might even fail them, right? Automic provides end-to-end monitoring across on-premise automated processes and tasks within cloud-native tools, so you can maintain and improve your SLAs, not just miss them. Another one I'll go with is licensing. You'll like this one. Automic is licensed by successful executions. That means if things go well, you pay for the automation. And if they don't, you don't pay for it. So the idea around it is, because it's execution based, you can have as many agents as you would like, deployed as far and wide as you choose to desire. So in the old ways, I wouldn't buy an agent because I only had 50 processes to automate, and it wasn't worth the cost to get an agent procured for it. Now, I can do it. I can do it all over the place. And to add to all this glory, I talked about this earlier, We have well over 300 integrations that you can pick from to do it. So the idea of automation becomes ever more important and ever more real across your entire platform. The next one, always current security, and in particular, high impact events around vulnerabilities in commonly used software libraries is top of mind and always is, especially when we talk about SaaS versions. Now more than ever, customers are vigilant and they're trying to avoid getting hit by the next 0-day vulnerability. So keeping software up to date and applying the latest security patches as soon as you can possibly do it, and running proactive vulnerability scans have become common but very intense activities. The great thing is with Automic SaaS, they take the responsibility of ensuring that that service and underlying software platform is always secure and always current. Last one, maintain security, governance, and compliance. So compliance audits are simplified because Automic centralized the audit trail and tracks every action within your cloud environment. Who did what, where, when, and how. The crazy part about that is we've simplified, or they've simplified the audits, but audits are not simple anymore. And so they ask a lot more pointed questions, they dig deeper, they're tough nut to crack. And so the idea around the easy audit trail within Automic allows you to pass with flying colors. And we talk a lot about when we work with organizations how to automate that. So I don't have to go digging in the trenches and trying to get all this manual effort. Let's automate it so that we can just send it to them and get our flying checks right along the way and pass every audit without a lot of action, a lot of effort. So in my opinion, granular role-based access control is an excellent start for compliance strategy. However, the information concerning governance and compliance for every execution must be centralized. That means gaining visibility into each execution, including who was involved, when it happened, what was the outcome, and so forth and so on. So Automic does that as well. It centralizes all this information automatically. The automation can request execution and therefore function as a central point of audit. It will also recover and record job outputs and human interactions and the job as a part of its standard processing. Continuing on, simple transitions from self-hosted to SaaS. But moving from Automic on-prem to SaaS is so simple, we call it a transition. Functionality, it's like an upgrade. Yes, it requires careful planning, detailed design, and so forth, because we want to make sure that everybody that goes into it knows what they're getting into, knows how to do it, and can execute it appropriately. And so that's essential and important. But we want to make sure that we ensure the data integrity, minimize downtime, and if you need a detailed migration strategy, and ideally a partner to make sure the execution is seamless, that would be us. This is what we specialize in. It's what we've been doing forever, and we're fantastic at it, and we mitigate risk and get you across the finish line without a ton of effort and not a lot of dollars. We've been doing this since it went GA months and months ago, and I talked about already, we've already worked with a couple clients that are going live. And since we're on this topic, I can tell you a little bit about RMT and how we help. So there's a lot riding on the transition, like we just talked about, and organizations do worry because their mission critical applications all ride on this ride. And so we're offering a free feasibility discussion for organizations who want to talk through it. They want to talk about what's the ins and outs, the pitfalls, what does the transition strategy look like? If I'm looking to convert, what does that look like? How do I get there in those particular situations? We help you get there. We help you map out the process. And of course, you can leverage us to get you there. But this free feasibility discussion is really helpful for clients who are a little bit nervous, aren't sure where to go next, and so forth. So if you want to do it yourself, we're happy to point you to the documentation, but it is important, I think, to not break a sweat over it and let RMT help you get there. Another area is RMT's proprietary conversion methodology. Again, all of these go in succession and they're all related. I talked about this a little earlier. We have our own proprietary conversion methodology. We've done over 150 conversions. We're very familiar with all the products in the market space. And with all that experience, we have a good proven methodology that allows you to be extremely successful. The most important part about any kind of conversion like that is to mitigate the risk. If you can remove the risk, decisions can be very logical and reasonable on whether you move or not. If you're worried and fear is driving your decision, you're highly unlikely to do it, even though it might be the right thing for you. We remove that for you. You won't have to worry. You lean on RMT. RMT will get you there. Let's just focus on whether this is the right solution for you or not. Does it check all the boxes of your requirements? Does it make sure that it's the future for you? Is it coinciding with your digital transition or your digital journey? Those are the things you need to focus on, not the worry. We take the worry out.